Alright guys, so today we're looking at a Stingray clone. It's a Copper Stingray clone. It's not the best one that you're going to find. It's not super deeply engraved like some of the other ones by Infinite that I've seen, but it hits really good. It hits like a copper mod should. We're going to do a voltage test on it. I'm going to compare it to the Copper Nemesis, and we're going to see where it stands. And my God, it's kind of surprising me right now. The Copper Nemesis is, my all-day crazy sub-ohm hitter, and I love it so much. But let's see where this one comes in. It's pretty good. The button on it is a little wonky when you get it. You can fix it up if you want. The paint on it is not super awesome, but it hits really good. I'm thinking about polishing all this paint off of it anyway, but hey, whatever. That's just me, Maybe for all the little scratches on it, I'll just take a Sharpie and touch those up. See what happens. All right, let's delve in a little deeper, take a closer look, what you get in the box, all that good stuff. I got this guy from Canvape.com. I'm going to put a link in the description below where you can get it. $45, okay? Super duper cheap for a hard-hitting mech mod, all right? Let's take it in, guys. Man, I want to have one more hit off this before we take it in. Do you guys mind? It hits really good. What am I vaping here? Vaping Key West from Dash Vapes. Man, it is good juice. It hits great. All right, so this is what you're going to get if you pick this up. You're going to get the 18650 tube with the top and bottom caps, all right? I've got my homemade Addy up on here. Actually, it's a Patriot. It's just kind of a homemade top cap that I feel like throwing around and bending it all up. But it's kind of nice. Like, the fire button is kind of wonky on it. Hits a little, if you hit it on the side, it's going to wonk out on you. 2-finger push works pretty good. But, it's $45, all right? What's on here? Made in China, obviously. Got all those little logos on here, so it's good, I guess. It's certified and nice to use, I guess. I guess it should be this way. Stingray. I don't know. But here we go. What you get in the box, all right? It comes with a drip tip, which is actually, it could be a wide bore drip tip, would make that really nice, but for all intents and purposes, it's nice that they throw one in that matches, okay? It comes with an 18350 tube. It is copper all the way throughout, just painted on the outside. The etching on this is not like super deep. My 18350 tube is actually deeper than my 18650 for some reason. And the 18500 tube is kind of like my 18650 tube. It's just not really that etched. It looks like they just kind of put something over here and then spray over top of it, maybe. But yeah, once again, copper tube. It's not the prettiest looking thing. Like, it has some kind of tarnish and ugliness in there. You're probably going to want to clean that out pretty well if you do get this thing. And there is some residue in this 18500 tube from overspray on here. But yeah, not that big a deal. I'm never going to use this tube. Probably never going to use the 18350 tube either, or the drip tip. So whatever. But let's check out the 18650 top cap on it. It's kind of nice. It's copper contact on there. It hits super hard. Copper is a great conductor. It's got a little bit of stainless, just kind of, accents on it. Your locking ring is stainless. The bottom has no logo on there. It is just, straight up copper. It has some type of clear coat over it, some type of finish over it, so it won't start to rot out on you and tarnish right away. But the tube does not have any type of anything coating it. Maybe on the top here, it does have something going on here, or else it would have already started to tarnish. But yeah, Delrin in here. Your connection is copper. Copper hits super hard, like I always say, and it does float. When I first got this, it kind of pushed out a little bit, and I had a hard time, you know, putting some of my batteries in here and making a proper connection. And I found that once I kind of pushed this this pin in and out, it actually does float a bit. It still does take a little bit of force to push it, but it works. Take the battery out of here, and there we got our tube as well, 18650 tube, straight up copper. Now we take apart our firing button. This is pretty neat because the bottom of this is just like a Copper Nemesis. It all fits together. You can't put the lock ring from a Nemi on here because it is a smaller lock ring. It's a little bit shorter in this end, but the button itself and the threading down here is identical to my Copper Nemesis. It does have a copper pin. The little rice pellet in here is copper as well. It does kind of come with a spring, which I believe is brass, but I took that one out, and I just like to make my own 22 gauge wire spring. That's just what I do. Yeah, bottom of it, just like a Copper Nemesis. Where's that rice pellet? Yeah, the rice pellet is also copper, which is nice. Put this thing back together, and then we'll chat about it some more. It is good. For the price of this thing, you can't go wrong, you know? Like for $44.95, like, you're probably not going to find a harder hitting mod in that price range. It could have a better button. The button is a little wonky, but I figure if I put a different spring in here, I'm going to try and do a 20 gauge spring to make it a little stiffer and a little wider at the base, and I think that's going to clear up all of those issues. And really, it's not that bad. It's really not that bad. If you're used to using something like super smooth and super nice, then it's probably going to suck for you. But I've used a lot worse fire buttons than this. Guaranteed, my friends. And it's a decent looking mod. You know, the black with the copper looks pretty decent, you know? But yeah, it is kind of starting to flake off. I, you know, ding this with, you know, something in my pocket. I think I had an Addy or something in my pocket that just dinged it a little bit. And it comes off fairly easily. Like that powder coat on here is not super thick. Like it is going to wear off on you. All right. That's it. One more thing. I want to do a quick voltage test between this Copper Stingray and my Copper Nemesis, because my Copper Nemesis has been the hardest hitting bad boy I have. Let's see how this stands up, all right? Battery's showing me 4.14, 415. I always test with a Nautilus tank with a 1.6 ohm coil, and that's how I get the results that I get if I ever say, you know, this hits at whatever. That's what I'm spitting out. 4.08, 47, 48. Okay. Last time I did this on my Copper Nemesis, it hit at 4.07. So it's hitting identically right now. Oh boy. Let me get rid of this. Put this battery in here. 35 amp eFest. Okay. So we need to put this guy on here. Hopefully that makes. Okay, so once again, reading 414, 415. put on the Nautilus again. Come on, old friend. What? Oh, damn. I'm thinking the Stingray hits a little bit harder. Whoa. I might have to clean this, but I think the Stingray beats it. Oh, it hurts right now. Oh, Copper Nemi. I gotta clean the contacts on this bad boy. Okay, 4-6. 4-6. 4-5. 4-6. Oh, the other one hit 4-7 and 4-8. Well, you know what? The Copper Stingray and the Copper Nemesis hit almost identical. Okay, this is $45. All right. Yeah, the button on the Nemesis is a little bit better. That's it. All right, guys, let's have a vape off the Stingray. All right, guys, we're back. That voltage test, I'm kind of floored by that. Like, that was a hard pill to swallow for me, because that Nemesis has, like, this piece that's so close to my heart that it kind of crippled me when the Stingray was hitting a little bit harder. It doesn't hit much, like, you know, like hundredths of a volt, like hundredths. It's not much, okay, but it does hit slightly harder. When I did get this and I hit it the first couple of times, it felt like noticeably hard when I hit it. The build that I had going, that I'd been vaping all that day, kind of choked me up a little bit. Like, it hit harder. You could just feel it. It feels like it hits a lot harder than it does to, you know, in comparison with that voltage test. Maybe if I did that test with something more sub-ohm, it would give me a little bit harder of a hit. You know, it would hit a little bit differently than the Nemesis. But whatever. For all intents and purposes, that's the best that you're going to get in this video, all right? Just a slight comparison on a 1.6 ohm coil. Let me have a hit off of it. It's good. Man, it's good. One more time. Don't mind if I do. How about one more? Oh, man. It is hitting super, super good. The build that I'm vaping right now is a flattened 22 gauge. I substitute Canthal ribbon for flattened 22 gauge. And I tiger coil that with a piece of a round 22 gauge wire. I just take the 22 gauge round and I hit it with a hammer against an anvil to flatten it out. I got a build tutorial for that. It's either coming up on my next video or it was just the last one. I want to thank all the new subscribers to the channel. You know, I've only been making videos for a couple of months, and it's great to see people digging the videos and liking and commenting and all that good stuff. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll keep making them as long as you keep checking them out, all right? So like I always say, guys, butt out, vape up, and breathe easy. Always remember to know your limits and vape within it, and you're going to have yourself a super stellar day, my friends. Now I'm going to pull a classic dick move, and I'm going to blow vapor all into your face. Maybe I shouldn't do that anymore. It just seems like a good fade out for a video, but whatever. Dick move. Ha ha!